It is the last day of week 5. Welcome back, everybody, to VALORANT Challengers North America. We've had some crazy action take place in day 1 and day 2, but it's time for day 3. I'm your host, Dryad, once again, and today I'm joined by Wyatt and Vansili. And guys, before we start the show today, we got to talk about some very exciting news that came out, and is that Ascension has been announced. It's gonna be... What are you guys
Vans
laughing?
was just so excited immediately.
Dude, I'm so excited.
The smile.
VCT Ascension has been announced that it's going to be in Monterrey, in Mexico. It is the first time, obviously, there is an official VCT event in Latin America, so a lot of people are excited. The teams that we have here in North America, I mean, now they have a place to look forward to, Wyatt.
Yeah, this is awesome. Looking forward to it very much. There are some sick teams in North America right now. I haven't been able to tune into the other regions just yet, but it's going to be very exciting to see if an NA team or a Brazilian team, if a LATAM team, who's going to make it into the partnership this year, round out that 12-team partnership system.
It's super cool, actually. When you're looking at it, we had, Ascension in Brazil last year. Now we have it in the LATAM region. I'm super excited for it, so that the only thing I could say is, hola, mi nombre es Vansili, y estoy disponible para emitir en México.
For what you say that, okay, you said that so wrong, and you know what? It's fine, Vance. Because
So close.
it was not happening anyways.
Wait.
Really?
It's all good.
I don't know how wrong that was. Can you give it to me on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah,
how
I
bad
would
that
say
was, right?
there was one word that just was completely wrong, so that gets like a 6 out of 10, you know.
Oh, that's not that
Good try.
Hey,
bad.
that's effort. That's a passing grade. That's a
No.
passing
6
grade.
out of 10 is fine.
Not
that's
a
actually pretty
passing
good.
grade. Not a passing grade.
If anything,
All good,
it's
though.
hey, okay, fine. If anything, I just wanted to say I'm available to cast in Mexico. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, and he said it really wrong, so that, I mean. Anyways, let's keep going. Yesterday and the day before, we had some great action take place here in Challengers. We got to see some upsets, I would say, take place, or... Well, honestly, no. The only crazy upset was the one that we saw yesterday. It was Dark Zero taking down Oxygen in that map number 3. Is the only match that has gone all the distance, so that was a cool one to see. But everything else has been going the way that we thought. Sad, I feel like, answer in a good way. And yesterday for that collegiate matchup, Vance, it went the way that we expected, with Blend taking the win.
Yeah, unfortunately for Winthrop University, they were still trying to find their footing, and unfortunately, I feel the hell just flew in front of my face. It just felt like they just really fell short here from Winthrop. Every single week, they're trying something new. They're just trying to reassess, and they overcooked last week, and they're trying to bring it back and let that simmer for a bit and try to bring that meta into like an ISO and Neon, but that unfortunately also did not find the success that they wanted to. So good thing for Blinn, they're on an upward trajectory, and the second series though, that banger was a nice one between
It was
Oxygen
great.
and Dark Zero. Yeah.
It was amazing to see. We didn't know who was going to come and get that win. We thought it was going to be Oxygen more likely, but Dark Zero, they get that win, and they were super happy about it. You could hear it in the interview. But now let's talk about today, how today is going to look like. This is the last day of week 5, and then we only have week 6, and then we have playoffs. So the season is ending slowly but surely, and for today, Wyatt, we got Fluffy Aimers going against Dove Bros, and on the other side, YFP going against M80.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy right now to see Fluffy Aimers at 2-2 right now in this stage, because they're very good. Though they have had some really tough matches, to be fair. It's like M80 last week, they almost beat them. It was a 1-2. It was super close. They've beaten TSM. They've beaten SAD, who've really picked things up. And it was just kind of their upset loss to Winthrop at the beginning of the stage that has them in this spot. But today is a good opportunity for them to get another win on the board, have a positive record at 3-2, because I don't think 2-2 really is, it doesn't show how skilled they actually are if you're just looking at that on paper.
And for Dove Bros at the same time, they've been really struggling to get those wins. And I mean, they've been looking better than that split one where they went winless, but now they're still struggling to find their footing to do good. So let's dive into this match specifically, and let's talk about Fluffy Aimers first, because this is a team that honestly we've seen some really great ideas coming through for them. I feel like their roster is also working together the more that we get to see them, but honestly they've had some difficulties. They had some tough matches that they haven't been able to win, and now they're in a position where they're trying to end positive events.
Yeah, I think the first start where you saw that upset against Winthrop was also in a moment where Fluffy Aimers were going through like a roster change. You're just trying to find, your footing in there. When we're talking about Winthrop trying to find their footing and it's slipping through, at least you're seeing a good progression coming out from Fluffy Aimers week after week. It feels like Bones has found like his groove as a duelist, as an entry for the team, and you're always going to have like some solidity rather with Mummy in the roster. So I think this is still a great team that's in that mid pack that, yes, despite the 2-2, I wouldn't be worried of them making or making it to the playoffs rather.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That game that's on screen right there, that Lotus game against M80, honestly, I think they should have probably closed out and beat M80. They destroyed them on Sunset, and then on Lotus, they fell into that trap of playing like they had already won. They were up on this early lead. Bones was going crazy. And then there were a few rounds in a row where players were just going for kind of silly plays, throwing things away, and it allowed M80 to get back into that game when I think they had a really great shot at closing things out.
And that's something that you learn with the experience of the team when you're ahead, how you're able to close it out and make sure that it doesn't get to you too early before it's, it's too late and it's an M80 taking the win. So, I mean, we're going to see what's going to take place today because Dobros, now we get the chance to talk about them a little bit. Honestly, both of the teams have struggled a little bit for some matches, but Dobros have struggled the most. This is a team that almost got relegated. They were able to win those 2 matches to make it back to the second split. But ever since, they've been trying to find their footing, Vance, and they haven't.
And that's the thing. When it came back from relegation and then they got that dub at some point against Core, going into the stage 2, is like, man, this is looking pretty good. They have a chance right now to really make an impact because you could only, as we always mention, you could only go high from the bottom, right? You can only climb up. But unfortunately, things have been slipping for this team following the weeks, not only in losses where they can't really get a map out of the series, but losing them pretty badly against their opponents. So that's a tough part. Yes, you were going to praise you're bringing Hayes into the roster as a coach to be able to bring that discipline and like the pedigree of his name and the fundamentals, but it's still missing a lot, unfortunately.
So far, they have had a really brutal schedule. They played Oxygen and YFP in their last 2 games. The most rounds they got on a map were 7 of the 4.
That's it.
They started this stage all right, though. They took a map off MXS. Again, another really strong team that they had to play of the 4 matches already. And then they got a really solid win against Core. They played really well in that match, but they have just had a brutal one. They've gone up against 3 of the top teams, and now with YFP getting so good, it just made that run of 4 matches even tougher.
Yeah, it's not looking easy. It's not looking easy for Dobros, but they've, again, in relegation and even before, they've been able to have some close series against some tough opponents. So we're going to see what's going to go down today. And let's talk about 2 of the players that can really have an impact in today's match, and that is Bones, that Wyatt talked a little bit about. We've seen a lot of the standard plays, the standard agents for the Raze and the Jet. But Zachary, that is this crazy guy that every time you have to assign him the crazy duelist, he's gonna love it. I still remember this map that he played on Split 1 with the Yoru on Breeze, where he was going insane. And now we're getting the chance to see the ISO and the Neon Vans. I just think it's great.
I think for a Zachary, it's kind of like looking at Corey, for example, to kind of cut from the same cloth, coming from Overwatch and also playing FaZe together. And in that FaZe journey outside of the Schmieg era, they did elaborate a little bit on their comp differences. And now you're seeing that they need to find a duelist of some sort under Dobros, and nobody really fit the profile. So Zachary says, you know what, I'll pull out the big boy pants and I'll try to do it. He's doing decent work at it, but it's not like the all-star fragging duelist that you want, that you're looking to have here in the team. So hopefully now that he has that variety with now the new patch allowing him to develop on ISO and Neon, maybe that's going to be the difference here, Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm interested to see on the other side if Bones is actually going to opt to play some of these new agents. We've definitely seen that they can be extremely strong. They're being played across all of the regions in the VCT. Teams are trying them out in Challengers. The Neon has been pretty exceptional when it's been in strong hands, and I was really impressed by Bones against M80. If he could just find those moments to slow things down when he's getting a little bit too excited, going for a little bit too much, I think he can be a really well-rounded, really excellent duelist.
I feel like we are also at an impasse at this patch in 8.11 where you have this buff for Reyna, Neon, ISO, and this nerf coming through that's slightly for Raze. So you could still provide great value between a Raze and a Jet, but you're still in the middle to try to figure out which is going to be really the best duelist that's going to put the most impact for these teams, which is fun to see that you might still be able to clash, to see potentially Bones play these older duelists while Zachary might play like these buff duelists, and see who's going to have the best fight out of it towards the end.
Well, let's check how the maps are going to look like today for this matchup between the two duelists. If we're going to continue to see that standard coming through for the side of Bones and something else coming through for Zachary. We got Sunset, Lotus, and Haven. Wyatt, what do you make of these?
Allowing Fluffy Aimers to get Sunset through is you're already starting the series down 0-1, basically. They beat TSM. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they beat TSM on at 13-1, and they beat M80 13-5. They look so well drilled on that map. They are making the perfect decisions on attack every single round. They are so impressive there. I just can't imagine Dobros are going to take that map. So it's going to be an uphill battle from there.
It's not easy, especially with the little things that we talked about and how this is a map that looks so strong for the side of Fluffy Aimers. This is why they've run in the past 2 weeks, as you mentioned, Wyatt. But Vance, I mean, do you see this going map 3, or do you see this maybe a Fluffy Aimer 2?
100%, and there's a possibility that might still go 2-0 in favor of Dobros if they could get the upset on Sunset, because again, you're looking at this comp the maps, and the first thing that pops to mind is like, yeah, this still works pretty well for Neon, this still works pretty well for ISO. So if Dobros actually didn't want to let this slip and leave it through for Fluffy Aimers, one, because Fluffy Aimers had good results against top teams, they have tape on that, they know the play style, they could actually try to min-max a comp around a Neon and try to anti-Fluffy Aimers at the same time. I'm hoping to see a Haven, because this is, I love some classic Havens as a third mapper, and I'm hoping that we split through maps. If not, I'm not going to discredit Dobros in the series.
Yeah, going along with that conversation, I would really honestly like to see Bones playing something new, playing the Neon or the ISO. This is the youngest player that we have in Challengers, and I feel like it's a long-term investment. You make him a crazy Neon, a crazy ISO, and I feel like this guy can be unstoppable. But let's jump into the Sipo Agent Select. Let's see if there's going to be anything new for this first map of Sunset, or things are going to stay the same. Zachary going to be rocking with that Neon, and on the other side, Bones, as we talked about with the Raze. Casters, I'm gonna let you take your time to yap.
Thank you so much, Dan Dryden. And for the first time in Challengers, I'm taking a toss. And for the first time in Challengers, Wyatt, we're back.
We are back. They've been waiting since 2022. It's been 2 years and 5 months since we've done a cast together.
Yeah, have you counted the days down?
Nice chill time. Well, I didn't count the days. I just counted the months. I just remember it was in January. And I think it was late January, too. So we might be exactly on the day as well.
Dude, I love
Fluffy
it.
Aimers, they haven't changed a thing. They don't need to. They're owning everybody on this map.
100%. On top of that, some great calls coming out from Pancakes at the same time. But this is where we mentioned here, Wyatt, that it was going to get interesting. Dobros coming out, letting it through, because they do want to take advantage of the Neon, some experience here that Zachary has on this duelist, and we think they might be able to break the timing here that Fluffy Aimer has.
They've swapped things up. They were playing the default comp last time they were on this map against Oxygen, so we'll see if they've had, significant enough prep time, scrim time to really iron out the fine details of this map in regards to how they want to play off of each other, play off of some of this utility with the Neon and Breach, which is definitely a strong duo.
They want to go quick right away, and the fault line miss, the hot miss, 2 players greeting Zachary in first blood already goes in favor of defenders over at Fluffy Aimers, and it seems as though they're just ready for these type of fast hits.
Dog just going to be used to re-clear elbow. Dobros now are trying to cut noise. Fluffy Aimers, no reason to not just keep this stack on A. They've got all that information from the Cypher over on B, the Cam and Market.
It's a good start, though. This flash, actually, that got no information at the top of A, allows for you to backpedal twice if you want to for Dobros. That's why you still have Ainge inserted here towards the elbow. They're trying to work out towards the market. They'll break this camera, potentially break a rotate over, and then finish back towards the A side. But looks like FAIM, for now, they don't want to move.
Dobros, excuse me, really taking their time. Trying to fake like they could have gone for a B split. Fast trade from Bones is really nice to maintain the man advantage that they got early.
30 seconds
and that's why
left.
They still have players now towards this A site, despite that trade on top middle. For Fluffy Aimers, they're fine. They're playing a 4-1 setup on the get-go from having the Cypher towards the B site and the rest of them towards A. There's the execution coming through with 16 seconds left on the clock. The paranoia to counter back from the defensive side as Mumme's already set up. There's that first engagement, the first initiation within the A site. Pancakes is holding with the right click, classic towards the slant, and the pistol round goes in favor of the Fluffy Aimers.
They played that round to perfection. They did not make a single mistake. Because Dobros never prodded towards market, never broke that cam, it just never forced the defenders, Fluffy Aimers, to really have to rotate off
One
A.
enemy remaining.
And then that timing from the paranoia, Mummy sending that in to save the stunned Pancakes backside was just perfect. They flooded to help him. I just love how Fluffy Aimers play this map.
Yeah, it was definitely a good call here of trying to run some sort of default and not wasting and forcing util to come out of the Fluffy Aimers. They had so much left here to delay that last hit towards this A site, and you definitely see the economy being very low for Dobros. They want to go for full classics, want to try to make sure they could go for some sort of a better buy in the next, especially when they couldn't get the plant down on the previous one. And now it's just orb control, working together, maybe potentially trying to fight back towards the A side, unless Precision did hear the orb getting picked up and taken away here from Fluffy Aimers on that end.
Cage triggered.
Small thing from FAIM, but you could see them kind of just min-maxing into the round. They press up A, get Bones that ult orb, because he already got 3 kills on the first round, so they want to just feed those to him, get him to the showstopper early on.
Just trying to break the trips. Trying to get in for a second plant, build that economy up for Dobros. Engagement coming in now towards the A side. Paranoia not hitting anybody on the attack either. So Neptune and Jonah should be in a good spot now to just play duck hunt rather against everybody so far. And indeed, they do. No lurks coming out from Precision. And that's also a tell early here, Wyatt, with Precision already making out towards shops and towards pawns. They're going to have to be ready for that for Fluffy Gamers in these gun rounds.
And we'll see if he continues to try to go for those deep lurks. No damage done. So this is going to be a great bonus here from Fluffy Aimers. Everything carried over. And so far, Dobros have been pretty straightforward in these attacking rounds. Fluffy Aimers haven't been spread across the map at all. They've been able to have just a really solid read, stack the proper sites. So we're going to see, need to see Dobros do a better job of that.
Boy, that's quick right away. But Zachary was ready. Bones falls to start. And already they try to take the mid control. Neptune fighting from the top out to the outside of middle and finally getting crunched in. But things are looking really good for Fluffy Aimers in this bonus round. They have less weaponry and have technically a little bit of mid control. Despite these trades, Dobros knows, hey, we have better weapons. We can't commit another player in, so we have to forfeit that spot. And it could be a great opportunity for Pancakes to get a shot here as he spots 2, trying to lean back towards this A side.
This could get dangerous for Dobros, trying to clear into a site with Riku dead. Not going to have the Prowlers or the Haunt, so they're just going to have to hard check all of these corners. And Fluffy Aimers are taking advantage of that. Pancakes jiggling, going to get the info, trying to bait for Mame.
And
good aftershock, though.
Push out. Yeah, exactly. Pushes them away, and they're going to hear that, so they know those 2 players are still inside this A site. Unknown is going to be Jonah, who's trying to watch that push up on middle. 30 seconds left as we have a trade of utility on both ends and a commitment now towards the A site. A smoke forces now the players to run out without the smokes, but Drone still gets the opener. Mummy lights up 2, and it goes back and forth for the instant trade towards the end, and Fluffy Aimers convert their bonus round.
It really is just so difficult for Dobros to work that site with Riku down, their only info gathering agent. Fluffy Aimers are just able to play those corners, stack up together. And again, these swings for each other are just perfect. The trade from Mame. As soon as he takes that second fight, Jonah's swung out from spawn. bonus round converted.
That goes there.
It was already going to be an uphill battle on this map for Dobros. It is Fluffy Aimer's best map, bar none. And bonus converted against them. Such a rough beginning.
Yeah. That means they're going to trail behind a lot on economy, and hopefully here by round number 5 or 6, you're going to get these ults with the economy to go in tandem so that Dobros could start initiating and start hopefully bringing some rounds back. Well, you saw at the beginning of this round just trying to add that pressure on that B side while Zachary has this Stinger with no armor, and they're just controlling orbs once again. So same thing, trying to get the ults as close as possible so they could potentially leverage the overdrive in the next round.
Pretty standard. You're just going to have your Cypher set up on one site, be able to stack elsewhere. Bit of a passive info gathering setup for Jonah. You can see he's just going to fall off while the rest of the team lock down the other side of this map towards market.
It's too good. Right now, it's just a paranoia for them to split towards A, but look at the position you have from Fluffy Aimers, who you just mentioned are wide. Playing passively off the reaction of a camera. They know that it could be very poppy towards this A side. They could run the protocols of just going for a flood retake at this point. But at least Dobros, they get a plant, they have a setup for a trip, and now they can focus on fighting towards a spawn where there's only Pancakes watching it in that spot. No flashes to come through, only an aftershock trying to walk contact just behind the smoke. And there's that flash, it will contact, and there's that transfer. Oh, gets the ace stolen away from Bones, but that at least will pad up the stats from a lot of these players, and also securing the Seekers in a round, giving the defuse away to Pancakes.
That first shot with him was pretty nasty. This one onto Zachary there while he was jumping across was a little bit midair. Had just like a millisecond to hit that before he was going to pass back behind that wall.
That's what
was pretty sick.
We wanted to do a highlight on Pinkies, but we've done enough. The shooting will do it in itself.
Yeah, we highlighted him every single week. Have to give some credit to Bones in the pre-show. All right, Dobros, they finally have a real shot at winning a round here. Full buy. So close to these ultimates. It's important that they fight over the orbs, and Fluffy Gamers recognize that. They're ready to go for an aggro play B main if that orb gets tapped.
Yeah. And especially off the dog, too. They're trying to clear in. When you hear this early coming out for position with the camera, though, they might be a re-hit for Dobros towards this B side. You mentioned they're close to these ults, but drone is still 2 away, so they can't pick up an orb and really try to fight for an ult towards the B site. But that dog actually forced players to fall back. So this is a great read coming out here from the IGLing of Dobros.
I do love this setup from Fluffy Aimers. They just have Jonah holding the line with an AWP on A, the AWPing Cypher, just bringing out something unexpected to allow them to stack B where the hit's coming.
Look at that. Bunch of utilities trying to take control towards market at the beginning. Riku still lands their spot and holds their spot to get the pick there onto Bones. But Pancakes following the Seekers, spraying through the cage, answers right back. The spike has been planted at least, and the Seekers are trying to find the other players towards this B site, and they realize that there's pressure from Zachary all the way back towards Boba, and it's a 3 versus 2 in the advantage of Dobros, and Jonah's going to try to fight back. They have money to work with. They could make this expensive against Dobros. There's that first contact, and then a swing from Mummy to help out. It's a 1-for-1 though. Power of numbers out in favor of Dobros, and also the time in favor of the DBs. And now through the smoke, a nice tap there on the first one of Zachary, but he has no idea on the other end. They were just waiting, but the shots missed. Now there's no time left, though. Drone is playing the patience to his favor. A jiggle for the headshot, and Dobros is on the board.
They opted to play that post plant, just crossfires set up in sight with the man advantage instead of what you typically expect, which is the Pearl cosplay in B main, where you just plant the spike for it and everyone just sprays at it. Oh, you can see Jonah was so locked in on that left side swing for main because that is where it would come 90% of the time. So just throwing them off a bit there. That was a good B side hit though.
Yeah. At least for now, you're definitely seeing from Dobros, as you've just mentioned, it's they were able to double pump back into the control into the B main, but also following the execution. There's a lot of strategy around how they took out that market with Prowler and Paranoia on top of a fault line to really try to go for the aggressive split and on perfect timing too. So there's a good read, at least for Dobros, on how they want to approach this attack side.
Yeah, that was the first round of the 5 played where they were able to actually work the defenders a bit, get them to spread out. Fluffy Amers had a very cool setup to start the round with 4 players focused on that B side, allowing Jonah to just hold the cross with the op over on A. But yeah, that retake of B main, the noise cut, it just threw the defenders for a bit of a loop, with 2 of them rotating off, going towards mid, being spread a bit more thin. And now Dobros have an opportunity to really begin to carry the momentum. They have 3 really significant ultimates up in this round.
Exactly. That, and somehow with only 1 player still alive on the previous round for Drone, they still have a great buy. The lowest weapon that they have currently is a Guardian in the hands of Precision that's trying to take control of B main, but for the rest of them, it's a 1-3-1. Just trying to see if there's going to be any aggression coming out from Fluffy Amers. But as more passively you're playing out here on the defensive side, you have so much map control and great opportunities to really run these fakes on how you're defaulting for DB.
You can see right now, Fluffy Amers, they have this crossfire set up for mid. Again, Jonah has the cam top left. Riku hears it and is going to be able to break it. Really important. And wow, Bones trying to capitalize off that with a deep rocket. Almost got the snipe with that onto Riku. So much damage.
That's aesthetics. So much damage, no kills, but the Nightfall stays up, which is a great piece of util for the whole full pop into the B side if they want to, and looks like it's looking to be engaged. Now deployed, nobody inside that site. Trips not even noticed. They're playing towards the end, towards the back of the site now. Jonah has kill Trips on the front. Should they continue to push backwards for Dobros, but they decide here to go for what you mentioned, a good old Pearl play. But here's the flank from behind, and Ange lines up 2 before Bones answers back. Overdrive out, Finger Blaster denied. As now the least Precision is able to get that kill onto Bones to still give the advantage for Dobros.
Again, Jonah and Mama A in a 2 versus 3 retake on B.
Nahat's gonna give a lot. Knowing the information of 1 towards the main, the other one on the market, but still a lot of util in the hands of Drone. There is that flash to delay for a bit, a fault line to go long range, an aftershock if they want to delay and try to go for this fight against Mame, and he wins it. Making it even harder once again. Jonah on the 2nd attempt, and on the 2nd time has no time left in his favor. It ticks away, 1 will fall, but the round still goes for Dobros.
Time to take these arms for
The setups on B have been good in the post plants. That late pressure from Drone and the crossfire setup.
Eagle eye.
Ange being so aware that a flank could be coming through B. Nicely done. Their play here on B has been solid in those situations. They did expend all 3 ultimates to win that round, though, and they lost 4 players. So look at the state of their economy. Fluffy Amers could win this round and immediately just snatch the momentum back with an anti-eco on the next. Big opportunity to get to 6 if they can get this one here.
And same thing for Dobros. This is a pivotal round, a swing moment for both of these teams, an opportunity for Dobros to potentially even bring it to a 4-4 because of the economy being so low for Fluffy Amers. So we mentioned it, the amount of economy in terms of ults were super important for Dobros. They utilized it all in that previous round, so it's a stalemate in terms of util, but at least Ange and the power of numbers in favor of Dobros with these 2 openers taking over this B site.
Hello.
I think that was just pure spam from Zachary. Oh, good flash from Pancake's going to get this info on Precision. Dog as well, which is giving an opportunity for Jonah to pressure behind. Position could have been nice, but picked off. At least for Precision's sake, though, he wasted so much time for the retakers.
100%, and allowing Riku to even get the surprise attack onto Pancakes, and that might be the call just for these last 2 players to fall back and save. They can't afford to go into this and try to fight back. We talked about the economy that they had 2 rounds ago when they played that 2 versus X. I think it was a 2 versus 3, but at this point, it's important rifles to bring over and carry over to the next round. And we're in a situation, in a scenario right now where it's not looking as easy and as dominant on how Fluffy Amer is currently playing the defense.
Already, Dobros have gotten 3 times the rounds as TSM did against Fluffy Amers on this map.
Don't do them like that.
2 away from getting even with M80. No, listen. Just saying, Dobros, it would be pretty crazy if they're the team that can do the best against Fluffy Amers on their home map. have them on the bad buy, opportunity to even up the game. Their play on B has been so good in those post plants, getting active, fighting in other areas of the map, setting up great proactive crossfires.
I'll find you.
You talk about being proactive as well. Both of these teams are looking for some early map control on middle, and that Haunt actually did get control onto Bones, allowing Zachary to get the surprise opener. Really both to push him back, and at least, there you go, that's the beauty of having the fade. Riku, they clear towards the left side, allowing Zachary to peek again, ADSing for the third fight against another Sheriff at the top, which is going to be Neptune. The only best rifle that's left is in the hands of Jonah, that's anchoring towards the A side, and I'm pretty sure once they continue to scout around, they'll realize here the setup is potentially towards this A side, and you should see this pivot towards B.
Continuing to just play this round slowly. Wait out any other potential aggression, which they already did a great job of nullifying in the early round.
Mm-hmm. They've seen the breach and the omen this time around, so you're definitely seeing the lean for holding middle, force them to peek out, just as you mentioned. Or Wyatt, as they do that, though, Neptune goes for the drive-by. Riku then falls. Spike is also down, and he's got a Rolling Thunder on top of that if his teammates can help out. And he's got both hands out and ready to shock. And here it comes. Mame with the rifle. Headshot into precision. The tides have turned now in favor of Fluffy Emerge until Ange has something else to say. Now picking this up. No TPs. Forced to run across this. 14 seconds. You have to come in now towards the B site. And Ange, backward step onto Neptune. And it's Mame, the first one that was able to get the kills here with the rifles. Blinds them both. TPs across. Goes for the highlight play. And gets the kill. There's no time left. Being chased down and gets the third. And the clutch of Zippo onto Dobros, and Mame is back. The stocks are back up.
What a nasty play from the 4-year Valorant vet of Mame. And Neptune, these two shots, I mean, just straight up faces them. The smoke from Ange was really nice. Went down at the exact moment of the breach ult, so they couldn't capitalize. I thought that might have been the round end when he gets that spray down through the smoke. That is just some insane individual play from Fluffy Aimers. God damn.
Yeah. And sometimes you're playing too patient and it bites you right in the behind.
Oh, trap setup.
Yeah, oh my God, it's going back and forth and still in favor of the defender side. The trap setup was pretty good for the opening kills, but now Bones is stuck and pinned into the corner. It's not cleared. He's got to get the free kill onto Zachary. And Prowler was a little bit too late behind, so miscommunication now, given the opportunity for Fluffy Aimers to convert that thrifty that they had, and now running away with the first half, especially this, trying to do hero plays, everything's being watched. And now we're back into the norm of what we're expecting of this game.
Riku down, the economy fully broken for Dobros.
Right there.
Love that Fluffy Aimers just throwing something different into the mix. Off that sound cue in B main. Sky Flash into the breach stun, into the swing from Pancakes. That's just so nice. Completely catches Dobros off guard, and now Fluffy Aimers can really run away with this half.
Yeah. What's been their saving grace for Dobros to start spinning in some rounds in a row is the leveraging of the ultimates that they have, and by the next round, this should be fairly close to the overdrive, if not a guaranteed nightfall, and they might be able to make this a little bit closer. But maybe you're hoping that Dobros is going to pull the same type of magic as Fluffy Mirrors just did with this Shiko buy.
Hey, gonna spot two players walking up mid.
3 HP and survives. The spray with the Vandal does enough damage, but he's also fairly low. Thankfully, though, on the side of the defenders, they do have the player advantage. And Jonah's camera's position so far throughout this whole half has been very good in terms of getting the information where Dobros is not ready to counteract on.
Absolutely, Neptune dodges that utility.
Down mid.
Still looking so crisp. Crosshair placement is perfect.
Yeah, on fire since the beginning. Sheriff for a couple, now the Phantom, and I don't think they want to cross Neptune anymore on middle, and it might be around where Dobro is going to try to go for these pops on the extremities.
Absolutely not. He just looks so crisp right now. Has all of stage 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
Looking really solid. And yeah, you're right. It looks like Dobro's on this buy round with the Nightfall. One away from getting Zachary's ult too if he collects this orb, but they're just going to go for this fast A-pop. They haven't really ran into Jonah or setups at all this half, so we'll see what he can do as the anchor.
He's there solo for sure, and he hears the pop coming through. And now with the Nightfall, it's going to hit him. They're going to try to take him down here, especially with the Prowler chasing after him, and they're trying to spray behind it, but he stays alive. This will be a chaotic 5 versus 5 retake.
Set retakes from Fluffy Aimers for A have been fantastic whenever they've played this map.
And that's a dog to kick it off. But nice counter utility, fade, and aftershock. But that means there's less utility for Dobros with the rest that's about to come through for the defender side of Fluffy Aimers. Although Ange is holding his ground, now hit by the paranoia, and now it's all over for Fluffy Aimers until he falls down to a 1 versus 1. Riku versus Jonah. The haunt misses. The second tap onto the hat, and he's trying, or they're trying to find cover towards the slant. And unfortunately, there Jonah was just always ready, not even moving. Just placing the crosshair for another tap and allowing Fluffy Aimers to convert the defensive round.
Jonah and Bones coming into this team at the beginning of the season have just turned things around for the Fluffy Aimers squad. That injection of strong mechanics, being able to hit shots like that consistently, I think has really taken this team over the top. All that util on the retake was fantastic from Fluffy Aimers, and Dobros were able to get so many kills despite it. But Jonah is just too good for them in that moment.
You're getting a lot of your players on the extremities really stepping up to the plate, and really it's the ones that are trying to find information or getting their ones, and that's it. But then at least you got everybody else to anchor up, and for another time you see the pressure coming through, and a setup from Jonah anchoring towards the A side being tested again. Takes down Zachary with a trip kill at the default camera to get another spray, and that's a spike down as Riku falls. And now you're trying to answer back. Aftershock swings out so clean and so calm for the 4th, and just give him the ace. Even a hat gets thrown, and he's fighting against Precision, dodging the flash for the 3rd kill. Now hit by a paranoia on a 1 versus 2. Precision has not picked up the spike. It's out in the open, hit by another flash, and he's gonna stay blinded the whole round until he gets knocked down to the ground. And that is a 9-3 half ended by Fluffy Aimers on the quick pacing.
Yeah, Dobros were doing a lot better when they weren't hitting Jonah's side. He's just going crazy. The tap aim, no one can shut him down. Just so precise. Little flash at the end for Mummy to swing off, and it does end up being a dominant half for Fluffy Aimers. For a moment there, it looked like Dobros were in close contention.
Yeah.
The first team to keep it close against Fluffy Aimers on this map at all. And then they just end up running away with it after that crazy eco round win where Neptune and Mummy just individually popped off.
Yeah, that's TSM getting right back at you, Wyatt. That's when you said, oh, Dobros tripled the scoreline of TSM, and now
I was just saying, they're doing really well. You wouldn't expect it from them. Other really good teams haven't been able to. Relax.
At least we're fighting towards the spawn here. Aggression coming out from Dobros, a counter flash to push him back, and now realizing that they have the player advantage and also map control. The camera's already looking back towards the A main at the same time for Precision. They're in a good spot here to just hold back and play the time in their favor.
Absolutely. Don't need to press the issue at all right now. That's a cool round open from them to get the man advantage. Camera trip towards A for some passive info from Precision, allowing the rest of the players to just focus on mid, focus on B on the defense. Oh, what a shot again from Jonah, this guy, man.
And that's going to pull rotates across. Thankfully, Riku, they're able to win their fight back against Jonah, and that definitely doesn't force the early rotate out of Precision. So with the camera being broken, he's still in a good spot. Now pinching forward are the rest of Dobros to meet up with them.
30 seconds left.
See if Mummy and Neptune can be the stars again. They won them that crucial eco round in the first half.
And the Haunts on him too, so the aftershock is forcing the players out. A 3-2-1 swing, but a fault line timing is beautiful there for Neptune to allow Mummy to slip through.
Oh my!
What a play on a 2v3.
Oh, that is so nice. This duo again, man. Dobros have such a great advantage into the round. That early play was lovely from them. But it's the fine details like that from Fluffy Aimers that are the extra layer that Dobros just don't have as a squad on this map. That heads up Greek stun for Mummy to play off of. The players are always communicating with each other, always giving each other. I mean, look at Zachary, the head in hands. They know that they threw that one away.
Yeah.
So frustrating for them.
And it tells a story too, maybe not in the scoreline, but looking at these scenarios wide, it always stays so close in these battles, and it gets decided through like 2v2s or clutches.
Yeah, the scoreline is a little bit deceptive, I think. Dobros certainly could have a few more rounds on the board at least. This could definitely look like a closer game. But Fluffy Aimers just play all of the micro situations so well. They give each other as much advantage as they possibly can, even in the tough situations. And they've capitalized off of all of those little utilities plays that they make together.
Yeah. Now the full line's ready from Drone, just off a contact to double swing on two extremities. And it's a double concuss, actually. That's going to hit a couple of these players from Fluffy Aimers in a push forward, but there's still some cavalry, some support coming out from Bones to allow him to stay alive and also give the player advantage to Fluffy Aimers. And now they're deciding to pull back and decide for the hit. It's a fault line to go towards this B site. Yeah, the camera's going to get a bit, but Fluffy Aimers have a lot of players here towards the market committed to this. A nice 1v1 in the battle, though. Drops a spike. Oh, what? God! 2v2 now. His position is staying alive with 18 seconds left. A commitment now. He's now alone. Tap on that spike. 13 seconds left. A lean out. And now he has a timing against Bones. There's that backstab. No weapon upgrade. The trip, though. They're trying to take him down. The run across as he breaks that shot. And the 4K for precision with the simple clutch.
That is some inhuman activity in back of B. What the hell was that first shot? But also that tragic mistake from Fluffy Aimers. Oh my god, that's insane. But they left the spike alone with Neptune the Breach walking through the smoke. No one with him. I mean, if Precision doesn't hit those shots, obviously they probably still lose the round, but an uncharacteristic mistake from Fluffy Aimers that gives them that opening. I mean, in the late round with Precision just alive, the spike being there, put Fluffy Aimers in an awkward position. Maybe that play can be the turn of the tides for them. Sometimes it's just a sick individual play like that that picks up, you know, the mental for everybody else.
And that's what they need. Neptune was able to do that last time when Fluffy Aimers were on a Thrifty, and now an opportunity on the defensive side as Riku just got challenged towards the elbow. And is this what is happening? Is it the GC Sheriff heading over to Challengers now? They're just landing all their shots right now with these entries on the Sheriffs.
Drone may be in trouble here. Trying to play in front of that one-way smoke. But he's alone. No crossfire for him. Just gonna play it safer now. Back up towards A, where Fluffy Aimers have cut noise and are intending on going for the exec.
Yeah. Great util from Jonah. That small camera pushes two players back, so it gives an opportunity here for Fluffy Aimers to work together in tandem. A 5-player head towards this A site. Full utility to clear it out. Paranoia confirms now that the site's open, and you'll have Fluffy Aimers on a plant.
30 seconds left.
Pancakes with that judge and all the players going link and a smoke to play with. Oh no.
Yeah, it's a bait to bait to bait. Now Pains is the first one, gets 2 for his troubles, and at least the advantage is still out there for Fluffy Aimers after the set of crosses that happened. Drone only with the Bulldog against 3 pistols, and the pistols are enough.
Oh, what a disaster. Again, just when Dobros have a moment, it's snatched away from them. Pancakes getting close up with the judge with the smoke. And Dobros go through with all 4. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, and again, Zachary just looks mentally crushed. That is so sad. I killed him point blank with the outlaw. That was a little silly.
He'll get something out of that at least.
God.
You know what's
They
missing?
look flattened over there on the right side of the screen.
I don't know if you noticed, Wyatt, but Dobros have been winning rounds back in stage 1 when Zachary was wearing multiple hats through every timeouts. And in stage 2, he hasn't worn too many hats. And I think that's probably the reason why they're trailing behind 11-4.
You're a better analyst than I am. I haven't noticed I haven't paid attention to the fine details. This guy's peeling apart the deepest layers of the onion for info like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, Neptune's keyboard's also tilted 5 degrees less, so that's why he's landing his shots. Oh, but yeah, this is tough situations now for Dobros, and looks like they're trying to go for a hero rifle around Enge. A Phantom and a small shield. Just trying to keep the economy low against fluffy aimers if it could work some magic.
Yeah, they're forcing up. They're sending it. They don't want fluffy aimers to get to 12. They're going to risk it to get back into this game. Fluffy aimers, look at how they're playing right now in spawn. It's because Ange, through that smoke, you can see it over at tiles, and now one in B main. It's making fluffy aimers think that Dobros could be all the way down mid, all the way up B main right now. Do they want to re-clear? Or do they want to just go towards A? It's Dobros trying to put them into a trap. They have the A stack there. They want them to feel pressured like they have to go to that site, but fluffy aimers are just going to re-clear. Only into tiles, though, so they may still run into this stack. This is a good game plan from Dobros.
And the silver lining, though, for fluffy aimers is that they re-cleared middle without using utility. So they'll have utility for the actual hit towards the site. It's A, first contact, fault line out, and that crossfire is perfect. The trap play is good for Dobros to get the opening kill. So Pancakes falls, that's less initiator util for the execution towards this A site, and there's only 30 seconds left. They might be forced to commit because of the lack of information they've gotten towards middle and B.
Running into 3 players. Tough to deal with Zachary. You're close! Bones with the first, though.
And he'll get the second one easily, as Drone can connect his shots here on the Sheriff. Flashes are hurting people. TP into the site to guarantee where Riku is hiding inside the generator. And with the trip watching the flank, you definitely do see the tides turn back in favor of Dobros.
Where is everyone hiding?
Cypher's going to hit the trip, so they may think that Ange is going elsewhere. It's just that deep push out the lurk. They get the info with the ult, but surely that's not enough. They recover rifles, but it's still 2 versus 4.
And you just have too many bodies inside the site, and nothing they can really do, especially when you're so separated for the last few players of Dobros. And understandable here at this point, they're trying to pick up rifles, and by then, hopefully, being able to isolate some overextension coming out here from FAIM's position on the pulse plant. But you definitely do see the protocols very well drilled and oiled up for fluffy aimers.
Oiled up?
You know.
They're oiled up. I don't know. I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's what you think it means. The gears were oiled. Right.
So it's just a smooth, lubricated machine, just like, going through the tracks.
Yeah, that's what everyone was thinking. It's the gears.
At least well on their way.
Freaky Vans is back.
Somebody matched by a free.
No one is mad. No one here is down to match your freak.
I don't know. I think we'll have to ask chat once we get there. But Matt point in favor of the fluffy aimers, and you mentioned it here, Wyatt, a forced buy that came out from Dobros really didn't want to commit into trying to force the overtime. So the economy is once again in shambles for Dobros. At least they have the overdrive available for Zachary. But not too sure here. He hasn't had the best results with the Neon ult so far on this map.
And this pressure now from Pancakes with the dogs, some spam through from Bones. They're trying to draw rotates to A. Dobros have maintained 2 players, at least in market. That's a great opening from Drone.
just going to jiggle through because he did see the contact on the second one, and it's just a default play by Fluffy Aimers. And because you have such a
30
low
seconds
buy
left.
coming through here for Dobros, you almost have to commit these over rotations, which now gives an opportunity for Fluffy Aimers to really set inside this A site for a plant.
Good little tag from the Cam, making precision of timing.
Ooh, they both escaped. But at least finally, after a couple of beeps and fake plants, it is now committed for an A-side plant and also for the elbow. Rocket launcher out, and it lands at the feet of Drone, but the overdrive still available. Zachary trying to go through the overdrive. The slide across, it does hit with a beautiful seize thrown by Riku. Bones, though, holding his angle at the dumpster to jump forward. Jonas inside the smoke. There's the judge on a 2 versus 2. Overdrive has been extinguished as now Mummy is just dancing around. A 1v1 remains. Paint shells onto the spike. Can we get a halfway? We cannot. And it's ticking down now on Bones at low HP. One shot will be good. Ange will get it. And will there be enough time? I do not think so.
Oh, just barely staying in the game.
Oh my God. It has to come down to these moments where you're just fighting chaos in World War 16 to win the rounds here for Dobros.
16. That was a great future. A great first shot from Drone towards B to open things up. And then they kind of maintain most of those players towards A. I like how Dobros have played the last couple rounds. Even the one they lost out of the timeout. Maybe that was a call for a strat from Hayes, their coach. But it was a really cool round. That second one, again, bad buy, but they convert. Still, though, I don't believe. They're down 7 bands.
I mean, there's a lot of util coming up with the defensive side. Fully stunned, answered back by Zachary, trying to dash away, but there's just too many flashes coming out on the attack. Rolling Thunder out in the open. Drone is caught, and the Seekers will see the last 2. Now with the Nightmare taking him over, and hopefully the Boogeyman will come through here for the last 2 players for Dobros to salvage the round, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Oh, the swing out from Riku, but Jonah will seal the deal, and it was only a matter of time. Fluffy Aimers win the first map 13-5.
Watching this team, the Fluffy Aimers, back in stage 1, it always felt to me that the one thing they were lacking was firepower. Their kind of natural chemistry, the way they played off of each other, they always looked really good. They, in a lot of moments, just weren't able to get the crucial kills. And now with Jonah and Bones, they're getting plenty of those. Mummy as well on the Omen looks so much better. They really look great right now. And Sunset is just their home map. They're just destroying everyone on it. You gotta ban it against them.
I mean, you're right at this point. To let that slip, it looks like Dobros thought they had an answer for that. It looked pretty good when they're starting to fight back, but unfortunately, you see these hero moments coming out from Fluffy Aimers where Dobros never had a chance to take the momentum back in their favor to keep this a close game. So yes, the first map is now right up for Dobros. They'll have a chance to answer back on the next map of Lotus, which will happen after the break.
Dude, I can't even tell you honestly. I couldn't even give you this answer. I'm gonna have to go like Sentinels, Loud, EG.
From last season, I guess. I mean, recently it was Sentinels who won Masters. The year before winning Champions was EG. And then before that, yeah, just Champions basically. And then it was Fnatic, correct?
Oh my, am I gonna have a brain fart here? Okay, most recent one was EG. It goes EG. Is it Loud? Fnatic or Loud? Maybe Loud. But I think it was Fnatic, and then I don't know. And then before that it was Ascend, I think. I could be wrong.
Got EG last year, then Loud, then Ascend.
I believe VCT winners 2021 was Ascend, and then 2022 was Loud, and then 2023 was EG, or Evil Geniuses.
The most winning teams chronological order. Bro, I'm gonna be so bad at this. All right, so Sentinels, right? Surely, or am I? I won't even ask because they're gonna be wrong. Sentinels, I know dude, I don't pay attention to winners. This Sentinels, Ascend, I know Ascender in there. Optic won something. We always be talking about. I don't know what they won, but they won something. And then Fnatic won something, right? So something like that.
So most recent one's EG. Then I'm pretty sure we have Loud, and we have Ascend.
Pretty sure those are the only 3.
The VCT champions were 2021 Ascend, 2022 Loud, and 2023 EG Evil Geniuses.
Well, 2021 was Ascend, 2022 it was Loud, 2023 was EG.
It was Ascend, Loud, and then EG.
2021 champion team was Ascend, and then the 2022 champion team was Loud, and then 2023 was EG.
First year, it wasn't Sentinels. I think it was Ascend, right? Ascend won the first year? Okay. And then the second year? Dude, who won the second year? Was that 2023, right? Okay, so that literally just happened. It was EG. EG won it.
So 2023 was Evil Geniuses. 2022 was Loud. And then 2021 would have been Ascend, I think.
Loud won. I know Sentinels won. And wait, EG, right? I'm not. That's definitely not the correct order.
The champions winners in order would be Ascend with CNED and Bone Cold Aquiles, and then it would be the next one would be 2022 would be Loud, the Saucy Pincata Aspas Core. The next champs winners would be EG, and then we don't know who 2024 is.
The game starts long before the game starts. And warm hands are faster hands. Gain the upper hand and power up your pregame warm-up with Zippo hand warmers.
Face.